Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Haunted America. On today's episode, we have two Reddit ghost stories for you guys. One sent in by Reddit user MA8248856, and the other, Illustrious Bag 4641. And the stories are
Ghost Wife
and
The Thing in My House.
let's get right into it. On today's episode of
Haunted America.
Before we get started with the podcast, if you guys would like to get your hands on some of the same equipment we use when we're out there investigating, check out the links down below to equipment such as spirit boxes, REM pods, and EVP recorders. These are just a few of the things that can help you get started with your own investigations. We do get a small commission every time you guys use one of our links.
And please rate and review on whatever platform you're listening on. It helps the algorithm and pushes us out to newer listeners. Also, if you would like your stories read on the show as part of America's Encounters, email us at hauntedamericapodcast@gmail.com. That's hauntedamericapodcast@gmail.com.
Now, let's get into the show. So let's get right into it, guys. The first story, once again sent in by Reddit user MA8248856. Sounds like I'm reading a phone number.
I guess 824-8855 was taken.
This story is The Thing in My House. Hey guys, I made a post on here about a week ago talking about a mimic in my house, and ever since then, there's been physical things happening in my home. Last Saturday, my mom and stepdad were in the living room watching TV when they heard a pot fall in the kitchen. When my stepdad got up to go check it out, he heard humming behind him. Also, nothing actually fell in the kitchen. Later that night, I heard something scratch one of the windows in my room 3 times. Then walk over to my other window and scratch it 3 times too. Then yesterday, my stepdad was home alone and he saw something. My cat, Ghost, his cat's name is Ghost, ironic, likes to go into what we call the playroom. He's not allowed to go in the room, but he sits at the door all the time. My stepdad was just sitting in the living room when he heard the doorknob turn. Our house is so old, the doorknobs squeak, so when you turn them, you obviously hear it. And he saw the door open.
My cat may be smart, but he can't open doors. And today the same thing happened to me. I got sick last night, so I didn't go to school today. When I woke up, I was the only one home because my sister was at school. My stepdad was at work, and my mom was running errands. When I got up, I went to the kitchen to take some nausea medicine. My dog and my cat came into the kitchen because they thought I was getting food. When I was taking my medicine, I heard the door open the same way my stepdad did yesterday. My cat ran to the door, and when I went to the door, sure enough, it was cracked. I closed the door and went straight back to my room. It's so weird to me, and you might be thinking it's someone who used to live there, but my family and great-grandparents are the only people who's ever lived in that house.
It could be your great-grandparents. You know, residual energy, them opening up a door that they used to open up when they were alive. Well, that's if
Or it could be an old house, and the door's open every once in a while.
Yeah, but if think about it. You shut your door and it's locked. That door ain't opening. You have to actually physically turn the doorknob to open it.
I guess if it's locked, yeah.
Very weird.
And he said there's a mimic in the house, and that's a pretty strong entity usually.
The thing that gets me about this is his cat likes to go to that room and stand outside the door where all this activity happens. And animals are, they tend to be drawn to this kind of stuff.
And it said that he heard scratching on the windows 3 times.
And what is that a sign of?
It's higher power, holy, or a mocking of the Trinity. Could be either or.
Because most of the time you hear about investigators getting scratched, and they lift up their shirts to see where they got scratched or whatever, and it's 3 scratch marks. That's normally not good.
And then add a mimic into that and stuff. Yeah, I mean,
Cleanse your house.
mm-hmm.
Let's read some of the comments here. You reminded me of something that happened in my childhood home. I was already a teenager and I was home alone. My bed door was closed, completely shut. I saw the doorknob turn and the door slowly opened a bit. I freaked out. My mother had just arrived home and was parking in the attached garage. I explained to her why I was upset and she just dismissed it. I argued that no, even shutting the door forcibly wouldn't turn the doorknob on another door a few rooms away. I was happy to have forgotten about it.
Nothing else like that happened. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's another paragraph full of words.
Okay, this person. Some cats can open doors. Yeah, our cat likes to get into cabinets.
Does it all the time, constantly.
Maybe you're just unaware of your cat named Ghost's abilities.
But not a locked door, man.
Yeah, no, cats. I mean, they can push open a door.
Yeah.
But if the doorknob latches in to the door frame,
Yeah.
you have to physically turn that knob.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Yeah.
The original poster commented back to this one saying he wasn't near the door when it happened to me, and when it happened to my stepdad, he said he heard the doorknob turn. It also takes force to open that, and Ghost is a small cat.
I mean, we're focusing on just the doorknob. There's other things that point to some other stuff might be going on.
Ooh, this person right here. So I said cleanse, right? Another way to kind of clean up your house from negative spirits is a lot of people believe in putting salt in the windows of the area where you're having these experiences.
And that's not just because of the show Supernatural. That's coming from stuff.
But a smarter person, no offense to the original person that commented this, a smarter person commented down below, you have to know what you're doing and in what order to do it for that to have the desired effect. Otherwise, you could unwittingly lock something into your room. So if you guys do any of this yourself, just research it and know exactly what you're doing first.
I've learned that by trial and error, mostly error, over the years, a lot. This happened to a friend of mine. Turns out she had stuff buried under her house. Oh my God. There were pictures. She put the pictures up in her house and it stopped, like it wanted her to pay respect. We are on top of who knows what. Yeah, wow.
Which is kind of weird because most of the stories you hear about that kind of stuff is if your house is on top of some sort of burial thing, normally digging it up makes things
Just
worse.
Usually. But, and when they're digging that stuff up, they're not also putting it on display and kind of honoring that spirit. They're pretty much just disturbing it, and that pisses them off.
And this comment says kind of what I said right after we were done reading the story, that it could be your great-grandparents. This person says, sounds like your great-grandparents are trying to say they think that your cat ought to be able to enjoy that room. So they're opening up the door for him.
All right.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Okay.
And like I said before, I think it might just be your great-grandparents hanging around and, entering in and out of the rooms that they would go in and out of when they were alive. Strong possibility.
I mean, could be something in that room that they want you to know about, and they keep opening it like, hey, come in here. Check this out.
Yeah, they might be trying to lead you to something. Or it might be the mimic, and you're just screwed. Call a priest. Get the house blessed. Good luck. So the next story is posted by Reddit user IllustriousBag4641, and this story is named Ghost Wife.
I work as a termite exterminator and have been doing it for about 7 years. Most of my customers are older people, and on this day, I was treating the home of an older man. When I walked up, I saw his front door was open, but the screen was shut. I called out and I heard a voice inside reply, "Just a minute." I waited there for a while, and after no response, I decided to ring the doorbell, and through the front door, I could see the sliding back door open and a man walk in. He let me in, and I started to check the home out for termites. I noticed it was just him there, but tons of pictures of him with his wife all over. He mentioned her to me unprompted as well, My point being, he loved her a lot, and she was on his mind at the time.
I finished my work and went back outside and told me to let myself out. Something in me compelled me to say goodbye to the voice I heard when I first walked up. I said, "Have a nice day," and turned to walk around, and every hair on my neck stood up as I heard, "You too." I walked straight out and didn't look back. I'm a very straightforward person. I'm not religious, and if I can't see it or it can't be proven, I won't believe it. But I know what I heard. This is the only time I have ever had something like this happen, but it certainly changed how I think and feel about life and death.
It can be something small like that that can change the way you think completely.
It sounds to me, yeah, exactly like this comment says. It sounds comforting that the lady's still looking after her husband. So yeah, pretty much exactly what I'm getting from this story is that it's probably the wife of this man still hanging around and answering doors.
You too.
Yeah, being intelligent enough to respond back, "You too," is crazy.
Yeah, you too. Bye. Get out of here. Leave me and my husband alone.
This person comments, "I bet it was scary for a bit. I still get startled when I hear or see something. I've been experiencing stuff since a young child." Huh.
Are you positive the wife had passed? Maybe it wasn't a ghost. I mean,
Yeah, well, he said that there were pictures all up on the wall, and the man started talking about his wife unprompted.
Right.
You know,
Read the story, guy.
this person, what are you saying? This old man has a new girlfriend just chilling in the house somewhere, in a closet somewhere, hiding in the house? Huh.
You too. Can we get back to what we were doing?
Overall, this is a good little story.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It makes you think, that someone that you were close to, related to, whatever, could still be hanging around you in the afterlife. Who knows if this old man has experienced his wife doing things around the house still,
Right.
or what, just what this old man has experienced in his time since his wife's passing. But definitely makes you think about a lot of things. So that's why we wanted to have this one on the show today. Anything else you want to add to this one?
Things that make you go,
That's it. That's what you wanted to
That's
add.
the best I got.
All right, let's close out the show. So thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Haunted America. I am your host, Dalton Taylor.
And I'm Jess Trapasso.
And until the next time, this has been
Haunted America.
Bang, bang, bang.